we're all good.
All right.
Welcome everyone. It's Erev Shabbat, just before Shabbat, a special Shabbat, a different Shabbat. We're going to try and spend some time getting into the mood of Shabbat, preparing for the Shabbat in a very meaningful and deep way. So let's just begin. Let's launch right in. Join in with us. We're going to just sing a little bit of a pre-Shabbat nigun. Yedid Nefesh. We'll do the first and last paragraph, and then we'll sing the Ayayay part. You know the Ayayay, I'm sure you all know it.
Join in wherever you are.
Let's
get into the Shabbat spirit. Yedid Nefesh. L'chaim, everybody, l'chaim. Just before we begin, I just want to make something very clear. It's obviously not Shabbos yet, which is why we're using technology. This is not a Shabbat service. We're just trying to get into the Shabbos mood a little bit because most of us, if not all of us, will not be in Shul Shabbos, and therefore we need to try and create that experience a little bit before. We need to go into Shabbos a little bit with the correct attitude. So I was thinking about this afternoon, and it's actually in a way quite sad. It's we're not going to be in Shul Shabbos. For many of us, our whole Shabbos experience is Shul. Even if you keep Shabbos at home, the Shul definitely is an essential part of the Shabbos experience. And it's sad that we're unable to be there. It's actually, in a way, a little bit tragic. And we're definitely not happy about it. We're not happy about the fact that we're not in Shul. We're not happy about the fact that we're not together. I was calling some people this afternoon, and it's actually very difficult. It's very hard to be far from everybody, and it's not an easy time. However, as Jewish people, we're very experienced with hardship. The problem that we're in right now is not a Jewish problem. This is a humanity problem, and obviously we pray for all humanity. But Jewish people know how to deal with hardship because we're experienced. And part of the Jewish attitude to going through a hard time is acknowledging the pain, but at the same time being positive and being upbeat. It's an expression that comes from the Zohar that says that in certain situations, your heart can be divided into two. One side of your heart is in pain and grief and sad, and the other part of your heart is incredibly happy, because it's coming from two different things. The pain is coming from the reality in our situation where we're not together physically, and we're not in shul, we don't have that experience. But the happiness comes from a an upbeat attitude that at the end of the day, first of all, God is with us, and we're still Jews, and we're still together, and we're all thinking about each other, and Shabbos is still here. Shabbos just happens, whether you prepare for it or you don't prepare for it, whether we're ready for it or not, it's here, it's arrived. So, and we're very happy about that. And I think this is an incredible opportunity to go through a hard situation with an incredibly positive attitude. So let's say L'chaim. Let's go into this experience happy and positive and upbeat.
Well, you're 100% right anyway, because this Shabbat actually is the last Shabbat in the month of Adar, and the month of Adar is the month of joy.
Exactly.
So let's sing a little bit a happy tune. You said something before very important, and I want to just follow on from that a bit. I tell a story, a typical story, probably happened more than once, about a guy, a devout older Yid. Is everything okay there, Rabbi Yaakov? A devout older Yid who comes to a rabbi before Yom Kippur. And he says to the rabbi, I've got a problem, I'm not well, I'm suffering from a particular illness, and the doctor has absolutely told me that if I fast, it's a danger to my life, and I can't fast. No, so the rabbi asks a few details, checks with the doctor, decides, yeah, absolutely, it's dangerous. The rabbi says, you must not eat. You must not fast, I'm sorry. You must eat this Yom Kippur. So the Yid, this old Yid who's fasted every single Yom Kippur of his life, he turns around to the rabbi and he says, Rabbi, Yom Kippur, what are you talking about? Yom Kippur, how can I eat on Yom Kippur? And the rabbi says, let me explain to you something. The Torah says, God told us in the Torah, you have to fast on Yom Kippur because fasting on Yom Kippur is a mitzvah. It's important, it'll bring you atonement, it'll bring you cleansing, it'll bring you spirituality, it'll uplift you, it'll make you a different person, it'll transform you. And that's the way it always has to be. And if you don't listen to God, that's a problem. We should fast Yom Kippur. However, says the rabbi, sometimes the same God says, you must not fast Yom Kippur. In fact, not only he says you must not fast Yom Kippur, but he says to you, if you want to serve me this Yom Kippur, if you want to make your Yom Kippur special, you got to eat. Your eating on Yom Kippur is like my fasting on Yom Kippur. Your eating on Yom Kippur is a mitzvah, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's the same thing, such an important lesson, because there's a standard, there's a routine, there's the default button, so to speak, right? God tells us on Shabbos we should go to shul, we should daven with a minyan, we should hear the Torah reading, we should have large Shabbos gatherings, people should entertain, hospitality, guests, all beautiful things, all beautiful mitzvot. But we know Shabbos is the same Shabbos. And circumstance has led us, because nothing happens by chance, this is all divinely ordained. This Shabbos, God is telling us, you want to serve me this Shabbos? You want to make it special? I know it's hard for you not to do the normal thing. I know it's hard for you to eat on Yom Kippur. I know it's hard for you not to go to shul on Shabbos. But you know what? I know it's hard for you not to be together, but you want to serve me this Shabbos? You want to really serve me properly? You want to make the Shabbos special? You want to tap into the sanctity, the holiness of Shabbat? You do it differently this Shabbos. You stay at home. Stay at home and make Shabbos meaningful. Make it a different Shabbos. Don't forget to light candles. All the women and girls should light candles today, on time. That's between 5 to 6 and about 6:48. That's the time slot. 6:48 is candle lighting, but you can light from about 5 to 6. Light the candles, make a bracha, fill your home with light. Sit down to a Shabbat meal tonight. Make Kiddush and make it meaningful. Share something, share an idea, talk about the Parsha. Tell stories to your children. Make sure that before Shabbat comes in, your children phone their grandchildren, if they phone their grandparents who they separate from because they're isolating. Connect in a different way. Of course we have to connect, but we have to connect in a different way. Make the Shabbat special. God says, you want to serve me this Shabbat, you want to make it a beautiful Shabbat? Same like every Shabbat, even deeper, even more meaningful, just a bit different. We'll get back to the default very soon, please God, but for this Shabbat is a special Shabbat. And we're preparing for it, we're getting together, we're going to be together, you know what, because Shabbat transcends time. We're not going to talk, sorry?
And space.
And space, exactly. So we're not going to talk to each other on Shabbat, we were talking to you before Shabbat, because technology won't allow us to do it on Shabbat, but we're still going to be together. You know why? We're all going to be doing the same thing. We're all going to be lighting candles, we're all going to be making Kiddush, we're all going to be thinking and talking about the Parsha of the week, hopefully, and we're all going to be together with the people in our home, enhancing whoever is in our home, those relationships, and making it deep and meaningful. So I want to sing, let's sing a little niggun, again, a joyous niggun, and then I'm going to share with you a deep idea to tap into the energy of Shabbat. So, nothing's by chance. So, in this parsha, this week, the Torah reading is, or should have been, meaning we're not going to read it from the Torah tomorrow, but we can still learn it and study it, and should do so. So, it begins with Vayakel Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu gathers the Jewish people. And he tells them, he's come with a message from God. Essentially the message is, the bulk of the parsha, is he gives them instructions how to build a mishkan, how to construct a building which will be a dwelling place for God. But before he does that, he says, Sheishet Yamim Tavot, 6 days a week you shall work. Yom HaShvi, the 7th day is Shabbat. He starts off with the mitzvah of Shabbat. And all the commentaries ask, why is it necessary to preface the building of the mishkan with Shabbat, right? So one of the commentators, an ancestor of mine, a Hasidic rabbi, the Ishbitzer, says the following. And he says the following idea, and it taps into the essence of Shabbat, but it taps into the essence of what's going on now. You see, we all know that the weekday is a time of building, it's a time of doing, it's a time of achieving. And during the weeks, essentially, I mean, this week a lot of us did the same thing. You got stuck in the house with our kids, distance schooling and all that kind of stuff, right? But essentially during the week everyone does something different because that's what the world is. This one's a plumber, this one's a doctor, this one's achieving at a higher level, at a lower level, this one's succeeding in this one's accomplishing in that. We're all doing different things. And the problem with that is that we all become divided because we compete, there's jealousy, my thing is better than your thing maybe, what I'm doing is more talented than what you're doing is more skillful than what I'm doing. So it can cause a lot of division. When doesn't it cause division? When there's values. When what we do is directed by values. When there's a common purpose. That doesn't matter what I do, what you do, what he does. We're all doing it for the same reason. We're all doing it to serve God. We're all doing it to become better people. We're all doing it to make the world a better place. We're all doing it to be able to live a life of meaning and purpose and mitzvot and helping others and refining our character and so on and so forth. If we're all doing it for the same purpose, then we're not divided. Then we're one. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, what you're doing. We're not competing. We're all playing in the same symphony, right? I'm playing one instrument, you're playing a different instrument. None of us are doing either because we can't play instruments, but we're, metaphorically speaking. Says the Ishbitzer, this is what Moshe Rabbeinu is saying. He says, I'm going to be telling you to build a building. Now when you build a building, anyone who has done anything to do with construction, either done it themselves or watched other people doing it, will know it's complicated. You need the appliance man, you need the kitchen man, you need the plumber, you need the electrician, you need the builder, the bricklayer, the architect, and everyone's doing something different. Everyone has a different function, a different mission. And each one might think, they must excel, they must compete in their thing. Moshe Rabbeinu says, I'm telling you to build a Mishkan. Building is what you do during the week. But if you want it to be a place that's going to be a sanctuary to God, if you want it to be a building that God is going to feel comfortable, it can't be division. There can't be separation. There's got to be a common purpose. What's that common purpose? Shabbat. Because on Shabbat, it's not the world of doing. Shabbat is the world of being, as we know. We've talked about this many times. Shabbat is the time when we take a step back and we all do the same thing. We all think about the same God. Shabbat is a time of reflection. Shabbat is a time to disconnect. That's a good recommendation, by the way. I think Shabbat, we all need a break from social media, from the news, from the bombardment.
Yeah.
It'll be the same world tomorrow night, maybe not these days, but it doesn't matter. You'll find out about it tomorrow night.
Exactly.
It's a good recommendation for the Shabbat. Take a break, and maybe take a break as much as you can, at least from technology, from whatever it is. But Shabbat is a time we step back. We step back and we reflect. What are we? Who are we? What are we doing this for? What's the purpose? That's what Shabbat is. And you know where that comes from? The Talmud tells us that on Shabbat we have an neshama yetera. We have a extra soul. An extra soul. What does it mean, extra soul? A soul is not physical. There's one soul, two souls. Where do we fit it? Where do we place it? No. It means our soul becomes stronger, more sensitive, more spiritually focused. On Shabbat we can tap into the depth of who we are. We can tap into the neshama. We can yearn for meaning. We can yearn for purpose. We can yearn to be something different. That's what Shabbat is. And that's so important, this Shabbat. You know why? Because everything changed this week. The world of doing changed, but the world of being didn't. The world of doing absolutely changed. We all did different things this week. Not what we normally do. We expect to wake up in the morning and do certain things. Everything changed. One tiny virus changed the whole world. And we're all doing different things. We're all not doing different things. We're all not going. We are doing. We're making smaller, bigger. Whatever the case is, the world of doing radically changed. But you know what didn't change? The world of being. The Shabbat, the common purpose, the depth of the soul. And that's what connects us. This has been a week, I think, where we've been physically distant from each other, but I would like to say, and I think this is perhaps true, that this week we've been more together than ever. Because the world of being is the same. Our values are stronger. And that's why coming into Shabbat, this is such an important message. The Shabbat doesn't change. We're doing it differently, but the Shabbat is the same Shabbat, the same world of being. And in fact, maybe this Shabbat is an opportunity that the world of being is even stronger because we're going to be with ourselves a little bit, and we should just focus and remember who we are. Remember what we're here for. Remember that life has a purpose, and that purpose, it doesn't matter what the world of doing is, it doesn't matter what the day brings. We can always give it meaning and purpose. In order to do that, however, we have to sort of really internalize that concept, right? It's easy to say, no? It's like, we've got to sort of connect to it. We've got to really absorb it. So I want to sing a nigun together with Rabbi Levi. A nigun, I think you've heard us sing before, but it's one of our favorites. In fact, my wife's grandfather was a Karliner Chassid. And in the world of Karlin, there was a great Hasidic Rebbe called Aaron of Karlin. And he made this nigun, particularly connected to Shabbos, and it's a nigun of yearning. It's a nigun of the soul. It's a nigun where the soul gives expression. It's a nigun where the soul comes out and is bursting and is connecting to God and saying, I want to know what my life is about. I want to connect. I want to be meaning and purpose. And I think as we go into this Shabbat, this nigun is all the more relevant. It's all the more calming in this world where, in this week where we've been together, but it's been uneasy and unsettling and a bit alone for some and so on. It's a time just to tap into the calmness of Shabbat, ignite the power of the soul, explore the depth of the neshama to really understand that wherever we are, God is with us. We have a soul that's connected to Him. And whatever we do, however we're going to have Shabbat, however we're going to have the week, we can be together, maybe not physically, we can be together, we can be with meaning and purpose. But in order to really get into the mood of the nigun, I'm going to ask you first to join me let's just reflect for a few moments. Maybe wherever you are, just relax. I know it's a bit hard this week, but all the more important. Just relax, maybe close your eyes in a very relaxed way. And just be for a while. And as you do that, I'm going to ask you to turn your attention to your breathing. Feel your breath. Feel the rhythm of your breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. What I want you to do is to breathe in deeply and hold it, and then breathe out slowly. So breathe in, hold, 2, 3, slowly breathe out. Breathe in, hold, 2, 3, slowly breathe out. Breathe in deeply, hold, 2, 3, and slowly breathe out. Just continue doing that for a moment and feel the rhythm and the calmness of the pattern of your breathing. As you breathe in deeply, try to connect within. And as you breathe out, just feel the sensation of letting go. Letting go of the week, of the stress. Coming into and connecting to the calmness of Shabbat. And just remember, as we always say, that in Hebrew, breath is neshima, and soul is neshama. Your soul is expressed in your breathing. As you breathe in and out, connect to that extra soul, the extra sense of being, the divine spark that burns strongly on Shabbat. The holiness of Shabbat, the sanctity of Shabbat, the power of Shabbat, the value, the being, the soul of everything, that no matter what happens, no matter how we're going to have the Shabbat, we are together, we are with God, and our values are the same, and our yearning for meaning and purpose expressed in the sanctity of Shabbat is the same. Let your soul burn the Shabbat. Let your soul yearn for the connection with the one above, a connection that transcends time and space. Think about this. Hold on to that idea as we sing this beautiful, deep nigun.
na
When Shabbat comes, there's a calmness in the air. It's up to us to connect to it. And we have the soul, we have the extra soul to do that. Rabbi Levi L'chaim.
Chaim, Chaim, everybody. Before we end off,
share with us
the last L'chaim.
Some closing remarks.
Closing remarks. The last pasuk, the last verse of this week's parsha, we actually end off a whole book this week, the whole book of Shemos. Shemos is the book of the exile in Egypt, the exodus from Egypt, the Ten Commandments, and it all ends off with the Torah telling us that when the Jewish people were in the desert, they were guided by a cloud and they were guided by fire. A cloud by day, a fire by night, to guide them, for them to know where to go. That was their GPS in the desert, how to arrive at their final destination, which would be Eretz Yisrael, the promised land. And the question is, why does the whole book end with that verse? What is so phenomenal, what is so fundamental with that pasuk? And our mystics tell us the following idea, that we all travel through a desert. Sometimes it's day, sometimes it's night. Sometimes it's bright, sometimes it's light, sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's clarity. And God is with us, that's obvious. But sometimes it's nighttime, the time we find ourselves now. It's unclear, no one knows what's happening tomorrow. People are uncertain, people are anxious. It's the nighttime. But what we need to remember is at that time, God is our fire, He's our light. If we just follow Him, if we just have what we call bitachon, if we just trust in Him, if we connect to Him, if we connect with our soul, if we just connect with each other, then we'll get through it. Hashem will guide us through that night. And that's the ending of the whole story of the Exodus. Because when we're through an exile, and we go through a dark time, we need to know that Hashem is leading us through it. And then we end off, if we would be in shul, we would end off, chazak, chazak, v'nischazek. Let us be strong, let us be strong. We will be strengthened, we'll get through it together. We'll have an amazing Shabbos and an amazing week ahead.
Beautiful, beautiful idea. So before we end off with a very joyous niggin to dance us into Shabbat, figuratively that is, let me just again wish everyone a very, very big Shabbat Shalom. We are all going to be together this Shabbat, together actually with the whole world. It's an amazing thing. If you think about it, it's almost a negative unity, but we can turn it into a positive unity. It's amazing. We're all together, the whole world in the same boat, all having the same issues with the Shabbat, and yet all being on fire, as Rabbi Levi said, the fire is guiding us, on fire to have that divine inspiration, to make it as powerful as possible. So make the Shabbat meaningful. Light the candles at the right time. Make sure you make kiddush, have a Shabbat meal, share a thought on the Parsha. You know, if you're sitting with a few members of the family, here's a challenge. I don't know what song you know, it could be David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayam, a Shabbos song. Sing a nigun, sing a song around the table. Make it, say L'chaim. That's not bad, you can still say L'chaim. Say L'chaim, say something meaningful, learn a bit extra the Shabbat, read a Jewish book, do something, and just let's transcend time and space, connecting with each other, tapping into the holiness and the beauty of Shabbat. L'chaim, L'chaim.
Nine, 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 la